Oh, I had to turn myself up there. What's good? What's good, everybody? I had to go live real quick. It's a little bit last minute, but I just saw something crazy here that I wanted to share with y'all. There was another dude, this gentleman here actually. He's from a channel called Black in Japan, and he released this back in May 12th. He had that running out there. What's good? What's good? And he was running this around May 12th, and he had a dream that he saw something bad happening in America. This is the channel here. Actually, I'll put this in the link, and then I'll put it in the subject for my I'll put it in the subject also for the video link once the channel and everything, once the video gets finalized for the people that are viewing it later. If hopefully you view it later, if there's a later, ain't no telling. I ain't saying nothing is definitely happening. I'm not saying, oh, this is what's gonna go down. I just think that we should be prepared and we should be paying attention, because again, I'm not gonna play this video. Teo, actually, if I'm not mistaken, played this a while ago when he first released it. This is a video I highly recommend y'all check out and look at, because he talked about the 4th of July. He had a dream and he saw destruction in America, and he saw it in New York, and he saw it during a time when there was fireworks and whatnot. And now, mind you, this man lives in Japan. He doesn't even live in America. So he's like, he's not even thinking about America like that. And he had this dream. And I want to share this from this other gentleman. Actually, this video, YouTube recommended the video to me. It's crazy. I've been watching prepper stuff, so they've been showing me prepper videos, but this one I did not see until it came out a couple days ago. But man, I'm glad I caught it. It was pretty good. I'm just gonna play now. This brother has some swear words and stuff in there, so if you tripping about swear words, then plug your ears, but just listen to the content of what this man is saying. What's good, y'all? I know I've been going, yeah, Cold World CERN. Exactly, bro. Like, it's gonna be interesting. I ain't gonna say, oh, it's something happening. They firing it up again. They fired it up before and nothing happened, but this is a different time. But I want to play this video in particular before I go into anything. I want y'all to hear what this man's got to say. Like, and then I'm gonna go through some of the comments too. Like, this junk is wild. So I'm gonna play this up real quick.
Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. So today's video, I really didn't want to do this video. I don't know if it's overthinking, paranoia, or just a simple bad feeling that I have. And that now the bad feeling.
Everybody hear this okay? Just do a double check, making sure. I know I got it playing, but I'm just double checking because I want everybody to hear. I don't want to be playing. Give me a 1 if you can hear everything okay. Just make sure everything's good. I want to make sure. Oh, you got another CERN video up? I don't doubt it. Everybody been talking about CERN popping up this weekend. Okay, cool. Thank you, Mr. The Original. Thank you. I just want to make sure y'all hearing this.
I've gone over this video before a few months back, and we all had the same bad feeling. But it seems like the closer we get to whatever the fuck is supposed to happen, the worse this feeling is getting.
And like I said earlier, if some of y'all didn't miss it, he's going to be using some 4-letter words. So, you know what I'm saying? Just if that messes with your sensibilities, then I don't know what to tell you. But there's some interesting information that he's about to talk about. So
that being said, guys, the bad feeling I have, it's heavy, or rather it's heavier. And I don't want to sound too paranoid, but it's going to come off that way, so bear with it. But a couple days ago, I had this anxious feeling in the middle of the night. So I was pretty tired. I was ready to rack out. And I'm laying down, and then all of a sudden, this overwhelming feeling of just being anxious came over me. So it wasn't an anxiety attack. I wasn't losing my breath, and I wasn't like panicking. I was just like getting this anxious feeling, almost like that feeling like you're about to get into a fight. So I'm laying there, And I'm like, this is fucking weird. And then I see a quick flash of something, but I don't know what it was. I mean, I saw New York, and I saw some kind of destruction, but I couldn't tell what the destruction was. I don't know if it was nuclear or an asteroid or a fucking bomb or whatever it was, but it was really quick, and then it just started eating away at me the rest of the night. So needless to say, I didn't sleep. So then I finally go to sleep. I wake up the next morning, later in the afternoon, feeling still bothering me. Usually, if it's nothing, it passes. With that, I text Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, probably around the noon time, maybe later than that, and I let him know that I had this bad feeling about something happening the 4th of July week. He goes, "Yeah, I got this bad feeling too. It's why I'm staying close to home." That was his reply. Then I text my other buddy. His name is Richard. I text him, and he says the same thing. Okay, so now all three of us are sort of on the same page with this bad feeling that we have, this overwhelming bad feeling. Today I get a text from Farmer John, this guy that I went hunting with probably about a year ago now. Cool dude, right? Down to earth, runs his own farm upstate New York. And he texts me out of the blue that a couple of preppers have been having this bad feeling, this overwhelming bad feeling, this thing that we can't shake. Now, I had this bad feeling before, similar, though during 9/11 or right before 9/11, it was actually September 10th, there was this bad feeling in the air. The bad feeling I'm getting is more personal. It's not in the air. When it's in the air, that means it's bad. But it's more personal. It's more eating away at like myself, right? My nervous system, whatever you want to say. So it's a little different, but it's sort of similar, if you will. Anyway, guys, I'm saying all of this to just be ready for whatever the fuck might occur unexpectedly. We are in this realm right now where things can happen at the snap of a finger. And it could be a nuclear war. It could be the worst CME in human history. Sorry. It could be some complete, total financial collapse inside of a day. But nonetheless, this feeling is really bad. And it's interesting that other preppers are texting one another this bad feeling that we're each having. So when Farmer John was talking about the person who had this bad feeling, it was Mad Shad. I think a lot of you know who he is. I haven't actually heard from him in a while. But I guess he texted Farmer John, or Farmer John spoke to him at some capacity. And Farmer John's neighbor, I guess he's a former Navy guy, says that he has this feeling too, but it's going to be July 4th might be the kickoff. Now, interestingly enough, I know I say that a lot, these are people, guys, we're talking about from different parts of the world, right? So you have Mad Shad, who lives wherever the fuck he lives. You got Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, who lives upstate New York from me. Farmer John, who lives about an hour, or if not 2 hours away from Hudson Valley. And then his buddy next door to him have these same feelings. And I know a lot of you guys are picking up this feeling. Now, I am not saying something's going to happen the 4th, but that was my premonition, if you will. That's a better word, actually. My premonition was the 4th. And I just found it interesting that Farmer John's buddy said the same shit, that it was the week of the 4th. I think it's the week of the 4th as well. Or at least that's my feeling. Now, again, this could be all paranoia. This could be just me overshooting it. It could be me reading all of this shit and then everything just piling on at the same time. It could be all of that, guys. It could be us watching all of these end of the world movies, listening to the news, and it all compiling in our brain, and our brain is spitting out these feelings. It could be that. But this is the kicker for me, and this is how I knew it wasn't all of that combined. I had a dream a week ago. And actually, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was about a week ago from when I had that premonition. The dream was of a bobcat. Now, I hadn't seen a fucking bobcat in a long time, and not even on TV, nor have I heard anyone mention a bobcat within the last few months. With that, guys, in my dream, I see this bobcat. Now, the bobcat in my dream was running around frantically. Don't know why. It was just running around frantically. And at some point, it stopped and was being playful with me. And then it stopped being playful and went back to being frantic. So, of course, I wake up like, what the fuck's a bobcat doing in my dream? What the hell's going on? So I go to Google, of course, look up bobcat dreams, and I saw two things. One was, and of course, the first one that I come across was the sign of a bobcat in your dream is bad, and it could be something, uh, if I'm not mistaken, I'm paraphrasing, horrific and or very bad. Of course, the next two meanings or the next two sites I look up bobcat, they both along the line said something big is going to happen in your life and you should take advantage of it. And the other thing, and the other website said it was a good thing, but this good thing is going to be very, very big and you should be ready for it. So needless to say, they all three pretty much said that whatever is going to happen is going to be big. They all three agree. But one said horrific, the other one said it's problematic, and the third one said it's going to be something you should take advantage of, and it could be good. The word could. So, again, guys, with all of that, a premonition a week after I have a dream about a bobcat, and apparently seeing a bobcat in your dream is not good. On one aspect, it's not good. On another aspect, it could be.
So I'm going to stop him right there because, he just kind of goes on and rambles on about that. But a lot of people have been seeing some interesting things that's going to happen this weekend. Again, for those who's coming in late, I apologize. I did set it for 9:45, but I just did that so it'll let me put the doggone thumbnail in because I wanted to bring this up now because I just saw this and I'm like, bro, come on, man. This isn't coincidental. And I really wanted to get this out, being that this is the coming weekend that we're on. And I wanted to let everybody know it's just to be watchful. I ain't saying nothing, again, I'm not saying, oh, something definitely is going to happen. I'm not sitting here one of those, type of person. Oh, it's going to be that. Oh, no, I'm not saying that at all. But we all have been getting strange feelings. People have been having dreams all over. And the more interesting thing is, if those who read the extended pair of books in the Bible, in the book of the giants all started having dreams about the coming end of the world. They had a dream. They saw the tablet go in, and when the tablet came up, only three articles was left on the tablet. I believe it was Maui and a couple other of them was having dreams and visions of the coming end and stuff. And we had, like I had mentioned a little earlier, our brother from his channel here is No Christ. But he also has another channel called Black Experience in Japan, which is a really good channel. I highly recommend both of those channels, honestly. And I recommend this video too. I'm gonna put it in the chat, and I'm also gonna include it on the video in the comments when I'm done with it all, so that way everybody could go and take a look at it. Teo did a video about this last month, I believe. And talked about this and played this video. If you haven't heard it, this is a video to play with this brother right here. He lives in Japan. He has pretty much his people stay over here. He has, I think he said his sister and his mom and dad stay, but he don't really think about America like that. Like, he's fully vested in Japan. And he had his dream where, again, he saw during a time where there was fireworks. He saw during the 4th of July, he saw an issue. I don't remember where exactly it begins, and I'm not going to go searching through the video for that. But I just wanted to bring this up to, make everybody aware that, this coming week, just to be prayerful and be mindful and be watchful. Don't let it be a time of, just like being like whatever and things as usual. A lot of people is really not going and traveling for 4th of July this time. Be mindful, man. We can't be just so caught up in the world where we just thinking about just play all the time, especially in this time. It may seem, I look forward to the time when Yah brings us back to where we are, to where we're supposed to be, where we can get back into the kingdom. So then I can let my guard down some, because it's just been stressful watching what's going on and trying to make sure you're not just caught unawares for all this stuff that's been going on. And you got to, be prepping and planning, and you can't move like you normally want to move because you got to be wise with how you do stuff. It's a lot of craziness going on right now, y'all. It's a lot of craziness going on, and people been feeling it. When you go here in the comment section, it's crazy. There's one dude, This one dude said here, trust your gut. It saved me a few times right before the first lockdown started here in Ireland. I had the sense that things would not be the same again. Watching the speech made by Varadkar, the Irish PM, just confirmed the feeling felt by me. I've also had two dreams. One happened in 2015, was to do with babies getting a barcode tattoo on their forehead at some facility for newborns. Another was during COVID. It was set in my local town in Ireland. The street on my apartment was located was wrecked. Broken windows, debris on the street, fires, overturned cars. The apartment I was living in was not the best either. Meanwhile, in the rest of the town, the local people, sheep, were going about their lives undisturbed. I think this dream meant that the sheep were living in a fake make-believe world, whereas I, along with the rest of the awake, were living in a gritty, realistic world. That's how I'm interpreting it. We're all in this together, I guess. So we see they having dreams. They having dreams of the end and the destruction, just like the giants did back in that time. The Gentiles are seeing visions. Dana himself, Dana with with all that craziness. I remember before he started talking stupid, he had talked about a dream that he had, and that I think it was in 2020. I remember seeing that dream, and this was before I even knew Dana was connected with Teo and all that stuff. He ended up coming up in my suggestions, and I ended up seeing that dream he had, and he had a dream about very thing that's going on now. He had a dream. In his dream, he was talking about how he saw clowns standing outside of like voting places, and he saw clowns like entertaining people to keep people's minds, diverted away from the real issues. And that's what we're seeing now. We see a lot of people that talk. I follow a lot of different ones. I mean, you can see, over here, I look at these, different people like Nerdrotic. I'll follow Tim Pool. You see him right there. I look at these different guys and I hear what they're talking, and they just be all over. They just you got one group of the Gentiles that say that they're winning because of TV shows making money. So if the woke TV shows are losing money, then they say they're winning and they're coming back. And then the other ones are thinking that they can vote their way out of this and they can vote themselves free of this tyranny that's coming. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like it's literally like how the man saw it in his dream. It's like they're just clowns entertaining them, and everybody's pointing them away from the real issue at hand. And there was another one. Here's another one right here. Dude, this guy here said that was 3 comments I really wanted to point out. This dude here saying, dude, I was telling my therapist that I feel just like you, like something is coming. She abruptly interrupted me and leaned in and stated in a very casual, familiar tone, you know what? All of my patients have been saying the same thing to me all week. Then she sat back in her chair, back in her professional voice, and she says, well, the world is changing right in front of our eyes, so anything is possible. These people seeing it, man. These people are seeing it. They are starting to see it. One person said he started having a bad feeling late summer 2019. You know what happened after that? Like there's a lot of people saying the same thing. I'm hearing a lot of folks, including myself, are having this very strong, bad, visceral gut feeling of impending doom, catastrophe, and or crisis of some sort. I think many are feeling this impending disaster. Yeah, premonition is the word that describes it. I had visions for years now of cities of fire, flames everywhere, but the buildings are not smashed or fallen. They are just on fire. Cars on fire, everything on fire. Come on, man. Yeah, exactly. Anything right there, Garth. Anything but submitting to Christ. That's it. That's it. Anything but just bowing down to the Hamashiach, bro. That's it. They'll take anything. They burning incense. They want to talk to ancestors. And I'm talking about our people. You know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with our folks. You know what I'm saying? Like we know what's waiting on the other folks. I'm talking about the ones that have salvation clearly at hand, and even them for the other ones too. Like there's salvation at hand, but a lot of them ain't going to deal with it. They're not going to take it. It's so funny. I was watching Tails video earlier because I missed it because I was just sitting in a data center waiting for a RAID array to rebuild, but that's a whole nother story. And I was watching it, and then I'm looking at some of that stuff about Agarthia and even the Fugaloids, and I came across this old it was from 2012, this white supremacist KKK website where it talked about these creatures called the what they call them, Fugal Gore or whatever. Basically, they're talking about the ancestors of a certain non-melanated people that came from a bestial species that walked on all fours, that some people share DNA with this very same species. They call them Neanderthals, and nowadays, used to be, everybody came from Neanderthals, but now nobody want to be from Neanderthals no more. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. Hey, shout out Gates of Holder, man. She did a live too talking about something like this a little while ago. Shout out Gates of Holder. If you haven't subscribed to her, it's Gates of Holder, Hulda. She is, I love her. I love watching her stuff. Very edifying content, man. She be dropping facts, pure facts. But I just really want to just bring this up, man. Just tell everybody just to be safe and be careful this weekend, man, because it's a lot of crazy stuff seem like it's going down. It's a lot of crazy stuff seeming like it's about to go down, man. This like I said, I just was watching it in the middle of watching Teo's video, and then this video came up while I was going through something on my phone, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what? This man is having the same vision. Like a lot of people been, my wife just showed me something else too. I think one of her cousins or something had just found out, which everybody's been talking about. We all know CERN is about to fire up again on the 5th. So all I will say is the Euphrates is drying up. The Euphrates is drying up, y'all. The Euphrates is getting dry. And we all know what the book of Revelation say, what happens when the Euphrates gets dry. Oh, hold on. Let me, just in case you think I'm tripping. Just in case you think I'm tripping. Let me pick one from this year. Euphrates River. Yeah, there we go. And again, it's just like kind of like what the little thing is saying down here. Why is nobody talking about it? Like they talked about it a little bit last year. I saw it on Weon. They talked about the Euphrates, but of course, Weon, while they're a decent source for getting interesting news, they go with the paradigm of the system. You know what I'm saying? They talk about, it's climate change. It's climate change. It's climate change. I'm like, come on, man. It's like my brother Garth said, anything but admitting that it's the Messiah giving the world a spanking. Anything, anything but that. They don't want to listen to it. They just want to just go away and think this other nonsense stuff, man. Yeah, I saw that in San Diego. All those lights that they had. Look, man. I've been saying it for a while too. People that know me, I've been telling them, I'm like, bro. It's like it's saying in the days of Noah, man, this stuff is coming back. These fallen angels and these spirits and all these concoctions and creations that they make, they're coming back. They already talking about mixing humans with pigs. There was a thing they were talking about today about, we can use pig organs to supplement humans. I remember, I think they had just given a man a pig heart, as a matter of fact. They had just did that. Like, why are you trying to combine humans with animals? But see, they trying to start it in this little soft. They always ease you in with the, it's to help you. It's going to be a new heart for a human. It's going to be this. They always ease you in with all this stuff, but we see scripture happening before us, y'all. Whether you want to believe it or not, Teo said something earlier that I love. This one phrase. Some people just don't really believe the Bible they say they believe in. Like, you say you believe the Bible, but the Bible talks about these things, and then when people talk about these things, you say we crazy. It's like, bro, this is for real. Like, this is you gonna mess around and they're gonna be around here introducing aliens to you, and you're gonna fall for it because you're gonna think some nonsense or have your faith rocked out because you out here thinking that there's like multiple galaxies and universes and these things came from Warlock 9 and they came to help humankind, and now your whole faith in the Bible is twisted because you see aliens and you believing in the heliocentric lie. Instead of realizing there ain't no outer space, there's a firmament up there. It's like y'all said, the water's above with the water's below. It's a whole firmament up there. Ain't no outer space. This is a closed system that y'all created, and them things has already been here. There was actually a movie that just came out not too long ago, and it was about these creatures that came up, and they were like, they came from outer space, and they were taking over everything, and then they found out, wait, actually they didn't come from outer space. They existed in Earth the whole time, and they had to go back, and it was goofy thing. They had to go back in time and stop them from waking up. It was goofy like that, but the whole point is they thought they was aliens, but they existed here in the Earth the whole time. Like, come on, man. This junk is real, man. There's a reason why I have my, when you talk about those outer lands and those lands that are out there, this is why I have this picture as my avatar right here. Those outer lands, this little circular area over here. I might talk about it one time. This is a little about where this came from and the moon map and what happened on the moon and what the moon really is, and how this little area over here, which what they believe, just to give you a brief of it. Many people believe something happened years ago where somebody or some organization, something they did something on the moon, which was just like how you would do like an X-ray. And the moon itself is not what they tell us. It's this body hanging out in outer space with a dark side that we can never see. Like, and it's just so funny because just recently they're like, oh, a rocket crashed on the moon and we don't know where it came from. It's a rocket that crashed, but oh, it happened on the other side that nobody could see. Okay. It happened on the other side. Nobody can see it though. Nobody can see it. Just so happened to happen on the other side. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. But no, they believe that the moon itself, and there's, hold on. Y'all, I did not want to teach on this tonight. I really didn't want to. I was just really want to talk about that thing, but I wanted to show somebody. Hold on. Plasma. Let's see if I can find the video with the here we go. Perfect. I'll play this.
You see, here is the sea, Mr. Sanders, so calm and apparently unchanging, and yet it is part of my new conception about the nature of the world. At this same sea, many times in the past history of our Earth, has rolled over the surfaces of the land masses, sweeping away all life and vegetation, and eventually turning again to its former bed.
This is the part of the biblical theory of the flood and the theory of people of other races.
Oh, yes, this actual event, the last one, is recorded in all the sacred scriptures of all the old civilizations, from the Hindus to the Bible.
Yeah, you know what? That is ABC News. Let me, who else has it? ABC News just has it. Man. Oh, well. Yeah, we're going to just fair use that and go with that one. They may try to claim my video. If they do, I'll put it on BitChute. But they can claim it. I don't care. I'm not using this to get no money anyway. So they can do a claim. I don't care as long as my video stays up. If not, I'll just put it up on BitChute. So if you don't see it here, I'll put a thing on the community channel about me putting it in BitChute because this is ABC. So they like the trips. It's Australia. So maybe they're too busy fighting off the killer koalas and fighting out of the camps for the COVID camps and all that stuff to worry about this. But let me finish playing this.
Reviewed in Australia in 1954.
The flood and the theory of people of other races.
Oh, yes, this actual event, the last one, is recorded in all the sacred scriptures of all the old civilizations, from the Hindus to the Bible.
Mr. Foster, before we go on with that, you've made a number of predictions, scientific predictions, which you claim have come true. Now, what are those predictions and how do you make this claim?
Well, they're all based on the new notion that the physical invariance principles of contemporary science are invalid. And I stated this first in a manuscript reviewed in Australia in 1954. And the validity of this statement was confirmed finally last year at Princeton when the principle of time reversal invariance was found to be invalid.
Well, who accepts the fact that you have made these predictions accurately?
Well, the facts as such are undeniable and must be accepted because they're documented. And it was accepted as such at Oxford, at Tasmanian University, and also at the National University. The fact.
Now, listen to what he's saying. He's saying that this was something that was accepted by universities. Again, like my man said, I'm bringing the white bottle today. You know, a lot of people be like, "Oh, he's just talking crazy." Da 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 da. No. I'm gonna bring an old school white bottle. You know what I'm saying? let me get that, pop that child safety lock and pop this medicine out real quick.
Facts as such are accepted, but the explanations and the new views as yet are not.
Do you mean to say that you reject all the basic principles of science established since Aristotle's day?
No, it does not mean that. I state and maintain that those concepts and interpretations of science, which are still based today on Aristotelian logic, have a certain purpose, but that is defined by a statement as that a spade is a spade or a fine chisel is a fine chisel. But these concepts are inadequate for a complete understanding of the real nature of the world.
How is it possible, Mr. Foster, that you as an individual can work out these theories when all the other established scientists have computers and all the money of governments behind them, and yet they apparently can't?
Well, I do not claim at all that it is due to my own intellect or to my own penetration. I have been deeply interested from early youth in the real nature of the world, and I held my own views and ideas. But many years ago, about 14 years ago, when I was challenging one of the fundamental conventional principles of science, I had a definite inspiration, not knowledge as such, but an indication and a guidance which I followed and which I worked very hard and to evolve into a new structure.
Now, y'all heard what I know a lot of y'all, watch Tales that watch my channel. I came from there. Y'all heard what he talked about earlier about how he said these people be getting knowledge. This man said, how did he come up to it? Oh, I had a strong inclination. I was guided. I was driven. Okay. He kind of dancing around the subject of where he's getting this knowledge and where he's getting this information from. Trust and believe. All information, all this technology, that, especially nowadays, man. Technology now is just straight up blowing up to a level. I'm like, this was stuff that I saw on TV, and it's real, like a real life. Like we literally have robots that can biological robots that can self-replicate, and they were created by humans and perfected by an AI. Like, bro, are you kidding me right now? If I were to say that like 5-10 years ago, you look at me like, bro, are you serious? Like, this nigga's watching too much TV. Like, no, this nigga crazy. This nigga's like ridiculous. Like, no, this is for real. Like, this is real life. Well, we got to understand, and this is what kind of frustrates me about Hebrews, that they wake up but then sleep on everything else. It's a personal frustration of mine, because it's like, they went through so much trouble. You see that there was a conglomerate set up to hide our history. They literally wiped a whole people. And guess what? We're not the only people wiped from history too. How come you don't hear about the Tartarians? Tartaria was a real place. They have a coat of arms and everything. They're talked about in ancient books, but you don't hear nothing about them. Same thing about Khazaria. Nothing about Khazaria. You don't hear nothing, but you have people that are Khazarians. You have people that talk about this blood and share this blood, but yet you don't hear nothing about it in the history books. So if they can take a history of an entire people and wipe us out, don't you think there's other things that they would hid and do? Don't you think there's other things that they'll teach and they'll show you? Come on, man. Let's just be for real. We can feel G-forces in everything but the earth. All right.
Sort of understanding.
Inspirations are related to thoughts of genius. Do you think or consider yourself to be a genius?
No. I consider myself to be an ordinary, humble person who wants to serve mankind with what man has striven for from the beginning of consciousness, with truth and understanding of the world.
Well, now, one thing, you have a theory about the moon, and we expect to be able to get observable facts about the moon fairly soon. What is your theory?
Well, it is by now rather more than a theory. 10 or 11 years ago, I stated to various scientists that the moon is not a piece of rock, but it is a plasma phenomenon, cosmic plasma, and that this fact will eventually be confirmed. I made certain predictions which were already confirmed in 1958, and the situation now is coming close to a complete confirmation.
See, he tells the truth within lies. So that's how these people do. And the good, again, a perfect lie has to have vestiges of the truth in it, because he admits that the moon is plasma, but then he'll go and say, oh, well, maybe other planets are possible to land on, but just not the moon, because the moon is plasma. Okay.
What will be the result if you're proved to be correct in your theories?
The result will be profound and decisive, because it will give proof that a complete reinvestigation of the laws of nature is necessary. Because if the moon is a plasma, no man will ever land on it. The soft landing attempts will all fail. That means that the mass of the moon is less, far less than is currently assumed. It's in a different state of energy, and it has far less mass. That means there is no more explanation for the tides. If the moon, for example, had only 1,000th part of its current mass, then the tides would only be 2 inches high under conventional theories instead of sometimes 14 feet. And that means that if it is proved that the moon is a plasma, then all gravitational theories are out, and the new concept of the cosmos and of its laws has to be evolved.
Aren't you being a bit adventurous, though, because you know that we're going to be able to test out your theories on the moon fairly soon?
Well, not anymore. 11 years ago, of course, it was rather taking a risk. I was considered
they're outside, Ruhama. It's black and white, but they're outside. So he's probably standing near the sun. The one dude is standing like off to the side, but you don't know which direction the sun is facing. They're probably having him stand where the light is on him, knowing that these older cameras and stuff and how that usually works. Because typically you want your person to stand in the sun. Natural lighting is like the best thing. And with these old cameras having the crappy resolution, they probably got him standing somewhere like in the sun where it's kind of coming down. So you can tell by the way he's squinting too that it's like something's in his eye. You just can't tell because this is old, cameras with crappy quality, and it's just enough to see the black and white. But yeah, he was I ain't gonna play the whole thing. I'll play the I don't want to incentivize ABC, but you can definitely go check this out. I'll put this put a copy of this too in the chat there, so you can go watch him talk about the rest of it. But he talks about it even there, saying that the moon is a plasma phenomenon. And there's a channel. I'll show this channel, see if they still on here. This is they have some really good, man. He's done some pretty good work with looking at the moon and looking at how it all goes and stuff like that. But he has I'm gonna show this out. Let's see here. Let me go to one of the old ones. Again, sorry, I did not plan on doing this. I really just wanted to show the dude talking about that. But here we go. I'll play this. I'll go into this just a little bit to kind of give credence, because I feel like what we about to see some weirdness, man. I really feel like we're not only on the verge of just as what World War III pretty much already here. That's done. That's started and stuff. But when they get ready to push this reset thing, like they're pushing too many narratives at once, and they're especially pushing this alien narrative. It's not going away. They're still talking about UFOs and stuff. Yeah, they put in Amber Heard and all that other stuff, and they got people talking about the whole McDonald's situation. Everybody's talking about all this other little goofy little stuff, which I joke about little things here and there, but you can't let that crap get you unfocused from the real thing. They got a lot of diversions going right now. Even this Roe versus Wade thing, that was nothing but a big diversion to get all these people with their panties in a bunch, all of them mad while they continue to do something else, which is why I'm wholly paying attention to what's going on, and why I totally think that definitely this weekend is the weekend to be praying and to be watching, because they've been throwing distractions out like normal. But talking about the moon, let me play this just to throw this out there. When he inverted the moon. Oh no, this one don't have to worry about that. Vibe of Cosmos, they good. They good. They don't gonna be no fair use on this one, Ivy. I appreciate it though. Nah, they want to get the word out for this kind of stuff. You invert it. That's where I was talking about with it being a plasma phenomenon before. It's, if you think about it, like how we do X-rays, it's like basically somebody had took in the original. I hate calling it flat because it's not like flat, but in the Hebrew cosmology, the sun and the earth are discs that use the magnetic power of the earth to revolve. That's why we see what we see now. This is why all our magnets point to the north. The earth is literally a giant electromagnetism ball. And electromagnetism, they really don't tell us everything. You have to really study electromagnetism to really learn that it guides everything, from the growth of plants to even the growth of people, to even how things affect you and how things that go on, about you. This is why I don't like putting my cell phone in my head, because electromagnetism, these things affect with your body. These things can get with your body and can cause different cancers. There's different men that I know that have worked on these different poles, and I've heard stories from men who work on these poles for these cell phone towers, and they get cancers, because your body is reacting with these electromagnetic waves, and they're reacting with your cells. There's so much bigger interaction in electricity and magnetism that they don't talk about and they don't tell us. Like literally how the patterns on plants are determined by magnetic waves. The patterns on the back of a turtle's back, or all of these things are all determined by electromagnetic waves. This is why they have the golden ratio, which is what they say you could find it in everything, because from growth patterns to how patterns even develop on animals, from insects to everything, this ratio is in all of that stuff, and it's all based on electromagnetism. So using the electromagnetism of the earth, that's how the sun and the moon are guided around on all their paths, because there's a big electromagnetic center within the earth. This is why you see this circle here coming around, because this is the track of the earth, the sun and the moon, and around in this area. If you remember from Teo's video earlier, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go watch it, because this will make more sense. If you've watched this video earlier, Admiral Byrd talked about the sun wasn't around that area that he saw. The sun isn't in those other areas, so they make an artificial sun. Again, that sounds crazy. Go look at China making an artificial sun. It's not crazy. They've making their own artificial sun. This is why what they're calling climate change, it's not climate change. It's a natural progression of the earth. The earth is a giant clock. And what we're seeing is not only the magnetic center move, that's why you're getting heat in weird areas. This is why you're getting all these strange weather patterns and whatnot, because the earth is in the middle of a shift right now with this magnetic pole, this magnetic center. This is the area of the known world that we know. And some of this stuff is old, that's not even there no more. That's why they speculate that this was done pre-flood. Basically, this was like a pre-flood look of what the world looked like pre-flood, because a lot of these some of these land masses around here and around here aren't there anymore, but everything else matches up geographically. I'm gonna play the rest and let you see it. So this area is what he has marked as Africa. That's South Africa. This is going to be West Africa, in which, you know what, let me pull it back. This is more along your West Africa area, which this towards here is the USA. See how small it is? Now look on the natural maps. They be showing how big the United States is. And this will match up. When he gets over there, you'll look and you'll be like, bro, like you'll start seeing the land masses and everything makes sense. But if it doesn't make sense because you're looking at it with that stupid Mercator map that they give you, that's such a stretch of the real proportions of the world. It took me a long time to get this down. And I highly recommend you go into this site. He has a little Bandcamp thing where if you buy like his I guess he produced like electronic music or whatever. And if you spend like $5 on the CD, he gives you like the CD, but you also get like an actual map of this. I have actually, you know what? Let me do that. I shall do that. I have this actually. Give me a second, y'all. Like I said, I did not plan on doing this. I really just wanted to just show the thing with the brother, but I'm gonna roll with it because it's this is in the air. This is in the spirit. Maybe y'all want, you know, y'all's trying to show somebody something. So hold on one second. Let me see. Where did I put it? Give me a quick second. I'm gonna play this while I find it. Okay, I found my version right here. I had downloaded it from right there, so where I can show you and be more in depth. I found it. So again, this is where dang it. You know what? Devil is a lie. My graphics card is being goofy right now, and it's been fine all this time. That devil is a lie. So this is South Africa, right around here. This is what we call North Africa, but it's they have like the Saudi Arabia. So this is like Egypt. This is where he would have like Syria and Israel all over here. And this is like on the side here. So this is where you're going to have your Western Africa right here. Now this doesn't exist in our current timeline right now. Like what we got going on, this he's just calling it this. That's not what it is. These names here is just stuff that he put. That's not what it is. It's just names that he's putting there. But this is a landmass that's off of to the side of Africa that's not there no more. Like there's nothing but water there. And we know that there's a lot of underground just off the coast of a lot of different places. There's like underground cities, there's underwater, steps, underwater cities, and different things like that. So then we're going to come over here across to India. We're going to just go move this way. That's Afghanistan, India. You got China and Russia right here. Here's all of Russia going on. Again, another place that we don't see too much anymore. Now I've heard that's a whole Hyperborea is a whole nother that's like, man, that's a whole nother concept right there. we could go some places talking about Hyperborea, man. We can go some places. But here's the UK, here's Ireland, here's all the European, Poland and all that, Russia, Belarus, all of this coming over here. And then coming down here, you have Australia. Again, a lot of these, here's New Zealand. A lot of these little places you don't see in our current map, these little islands and whatnot, because of where our water level is now. You got Korea, you've got Japan right around here. Again, huge landmass. We don't see this no more. This isn't visible no more. So at one point we know these things exist. We know there's so much stuff under the waves, under the water. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't that in like the Bermuda Triangle like area? No, that's not the Bermuda Triangle. I can't remember which side that Bermuda Triangle is more towards this way, where that area is. But you know, a lot of that stuff, they say it messes with your radio signals and stuff. If there's some messed up, some old tech that's still tied to giving off some strong electromagnetic waves, that explains why every time planes fly over that area, they getting lost and stuff, with all this stuff that y'all buried underwater. Like he buried all this foul technology, all that foul stuff that they were basically abusing in the earth. He buried it along with the secrets that they had, because he knew that they was going to come back. He knew they was going to try and get it again. So he's like, I'm going to make it so you can't get to it. So then here you have South America, Brazil, Argentina. You've got America right here. Here's USA. And it's upside down from how we know it, because here's Florida. Here's Florida right here. Here's Mexico coming down. Here's all that coming into all of that coming around. Now, this is what many believe what was done with the moon earlier. Like something happened where it was done off the firmament, off the top. They did some kind of, they used the moon as like the vector to put a picture on it, like you would do a x-ray, because that's essentially what happens with x-rays. You just expose a chemical to these x-rays that allows you to see through what's in there. You're seeing it and you're exposing it on the paper, and they're saying this is the same thing that happened with the plasma phenomenon of the moon. Now we know the moon is, you know, its own light, because again, Yah says in the beginning he made two lights. The moon, if it's reflecting the sun, doesn't give off any thermal energy. So if it's a reflection of the sun's light, how come there's no thermal energy off of the moon? So this is, again, I showed in a little white bottle earlier. This is a strong theory that's been going around for years. Been around for years. And it used to be accepted that the moon was a plasma phenomenon. Whether they accepted it, whether it was a plasma phenomenon in the Hebrew cosmo theory, or whether it was a phenomenon, whether heliocentric. You know, most people I've seen it, you know, put it both ways, but everybody that's pretty much counter to the common nonsense that's taught believes that the moon is not what they say it is. Again, you have a dark side of the moon that nobody sees but NASA. Okay. Okay. But they always show, and then remember the I forget the lady's name. Remember the one Khazarian lady that was on Oprah that showed a picture of the map and said how the map was wrong and how they resized things. Look at how big Africa is. Look at this is all the size of Africa right here. This is the United States. The UK don't even show up. I got to zoom in. This is the UK, London, Ireland. This is them right there. This is all of that land right there. Like these are the people that's dividing up all of this land. It really, when you put it in context, it's kind of hard to see, especially when you're used to that mercantile bent bastardization. Really, that's what it is of the world. It's hard to understand, and that's what they did. They've taught us stuff backwards. So when we see things for real, it don't make sense to us. It don't make, you know, our minds can't grasp it. But when you see that, and then you understand that there's land out here, that's why he calls it Terra Vista, new land. There's land all the way out here, which goes with what Admiral Byrd says. Because right here, again, being that our sun is mainly in these areas, there's an ice wall right around here. That ice wall, which again, what we call the North Pole or Antarctica, they have a unilateral agreement. All the nations agree to not go there. You mean to tell me these same nations that's right now beefing with each other all still agree to not go to the up there to that place in the North Pole, not to go beyond there, not to set up bases, not to do it. But now that it's melting, that's another thing they've been quietly doing since 2020. It's been melting because there's a shift. There's a shift now in the magnetic poles in the Earth. The magnetic polarity in the Earth is shifting. So we're starting to see the weather change and it's melting over here. So now they dashing up there. All of them running up there. Russia already got like the head start. They pretty much got bases all over, but America running up there, China running up there, all of them running up there now. Why? Why they're doing it quietly? But if you go Google it yourself and go search for it, you'll find all of them starting to. They're saying resources. That's what they're saying. Like, oh, it's melting, and we can now get access to oil that's underneath it. Yeah, we want oil. They want to make everything sound like it's about oil, but yeah, exactly. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted to be like that. But this is real life. This is real life. Again, why would this man, Admiral Byrd, talk about land? He even has it on they interviewed him live. And hold on, let me get some more. Let me get some more of that white bottle. Let me get some more of that white bottle. Hold on. I want his interview. I don't want the let's see here. Here we go.
Sir, CBS News correspondent, and Kenneth Crawford, National Affairs Editor of Newsweek magazine. Our very distinguished guest for this evening is Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
The North Pole used to be a no man's land, but these are the days when, by buying a ticket on a commercial airliner, you can fly across the North Pole and drink a cocktail at the same time. You know, only 30 or more years ago, about 35 years ago, our guest tonight found out whether there was any land north of the North American continent. He made that first discovery flight, and I must say that Admiral Byrd, our guest tonight, is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless Americans. Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America.
Heard what he said?
And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
That's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Well, Admiral, do you hope to see that?
I do.
Well, Admiral,
Yeah.
would you say that this...
You heard what he said? At the where? At the where? Let me replay that. At the where? Again, remember what Teo talked about earlier. At the where?
That there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
That's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Well, Admiral,
A lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world. There's a lot of adventure left at the bottom of the world. Like I said, y'all, I really came on just to talk about the 4th of July. I did not mean and want to get this into this subject, but to really go in on this stuff, you got to have some understanding of what's going on. You got to have some understanding of the truth. That, and you know, Taylor made a good point. Like a lot of these areas, you're not allowed to fly over. I've seen videos where they literally do a test where you try to fly towards these areas and they will fly a jet and they will shoot your butt down. They literally have dudes on standby that are set up to scramble. And if you try to fly towards these areas, and they will shoot you down. They will shoot you down. Why? They don't want you to fly up there. Why? Come on, man. Why are they going to do so much? If it was nothing up there and it would just make people just, you know, just go around to the other side of the planet, you know, you're going to just fly over there and then eventually end up at Australia. why shoot somebody down? Why shoot them down? Why not just say, okay, if you're crazy enough to go, you go on your own and hey, you do your thing. Why waste the money and the manpower to literally watch this area 24/7, 365 all day long? This area is monitored and watched under heavy guard where you can't go out there. Why spend all that money? It's, come on, man, especially the Hebrews. Like, I can understand, folks are still caught up in churchianity. I can understand all that. But for Hebrews to still keep believing these lies, when you start breaking down the numbers on the earth and how it rotates through the universe and seeing the model where the earth is like flying behind the sun, like the sun is a bullet and the earth and everybody's just spinning around it. Like, so we feel G-forces on everything. You go to the carnival, you ride that little ride, and it pushes you up on the side. You feel the G-forces. You go on a roller coaster, you feel the G-forces, but you don't feel the earth spinning at 666,000 some odd miles an hour. And yes, that is how much they say it spins at. 666,000 some odd miles, 66,000 or something crazy. It's got 3 6s in it. All the measurements for the earth and the sun have 666 all up in it. But we believe this and we run with this. See, we'll say, oh, we look up and we see these things. Oh, we look up and we see it, but we're looking through a predestined lens. Before we're even allowed to form words, they put a globe in our mouth. We don't even get to see, we don't even get to reason within ourselves for what the world is. They put a globe in our mouth. So then when we see something like this, it's foreign to us because they've given us the mercantile design, or what they call it, the mercantile plot, or whatever that stupid lie is that they've created, where they take the oval and they take the sphere and they lay it out flat on that nonsense. And they got the United States looking all huge and Africa sitting there in the middle and the UK all big. You should know just from that alone that they lying to you, that they got to look at how according to this, look at how big the USA is. Look at the size of the USA. Look at the size of Canada. Look at the size of the UK. This is the one that wanted to run. How could a group of people on an island this little rule half the world? They just had that much. They just was that bad. They just had that much technology that they can go on a whole continent like this. That they can go all through India, all through these bigger places. Look at how big India is compared to these little tiny little folks. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. We got to start asking questions. We got to start asking some bigger questions. Because guess what? This mess is coming back full circle. This is what we're going to start seeing. See, they're getting things set up. Now, what we're starting to see, this is why it seems so foreign to us as humans, because they're terraforming the earth right now. What I mean by terraforming is they're terraforming the thought and the consciousness of humans right now. They're getting people ready for otherworldly beings. How do I know so? Why in the world where this pronoun nonsense come from? Why is this being pushed so hard? They want to push these weird, exotic things. Why are they trying to change? Even in the United States Congress, they're using genderless language. They're not using gendered language. So they're no longer using the language that you would use to talk about just humans. Why? It almost sounds like you eventually are getting ready to accommodate non-human things by changing the language to include non-human stuff. Let me give you an example. Everybody knows the famous story of the devil in the Bible that Yahushua dealt with when he said, what's your name? He said, we are legion, for we are many. What did they say? We are many. What do you think the pronouns for legion would be? If legion was a walking human right now, it had a body and it was able to inhabit this half cyborg, half human, biotic body. It has bio parts and it has cybernetic parts. And this demon called legion is able to incorporate it. How do you think it would refer to itself? They. Exactly. Exactly. We even see this concept. For those of us that watch science fiction, this isn't a new concept, because the Borg, when they would talk, they use us, we, them. They use bigger concepts. See, when you watch science fiction, this is normal stuff, but to the people who don't watch it, this is like crazy. But this is how these things talk, because you got to understand these spiritual beings are different than how humans deal with things. This being was able to have multiple beings inhabit one body. Come on, man. Don't we see that with Cerberus? From the legend, it's 3 heads in one. Don't we see multi-headed beings all the time when they show them in India and all this stuff with the Mahabharata? Oh, and for those who don't, again, who want to, deep talk about Enoch and the book of Enoch, I'm 100% believe the whole book of Enoch, all of Enoch is 100% real. I hit my mic, knocked it down. It's on point. It's super on. But there was a point that I recommend. I believe it's called the Andrews translation. The one in the Sefer Bible, they changed the translation, and it makes me mad because I remember when I was with Ebri and them on Salt of the Earth, and we were talking about the trees, and he had the I think it was the Andrews translation, which is the one that they got directly from the one in Ethiopia, and it's a direct translation of that one. And that has a verse in there, and I believe it's in around 60 or 66 in Enoch, where he talks about how he sent the angels to work at the trees. And in the Sefer, they say he sent them to build the ark. That's not true. That's not what it is. That wasn't it at all. In the original one, he said he sent the angels to work at the trees. Again, that's a whole nother subject. Actually, we talked about that on Salt of the Earth. There's a video that I did with them a while ago where we were talking about the trees and how the trees were. I highly recommend that. You go check that out. That we talked about the trees and how y'all had the trees taken down. There were giant trees during that time. Because see, when you look at the size, when Enoch talks about the giants, when you translate L's into size, those things were skyscrapers. How can things get that huge? How can something get that big? But if you know science, you know that or rather I say the workings of Yah forgive me, I hate to call it science because science is just demonic now. The workings of Yah and his world, that the more oxygen something has, the bigger it grows. This is why a lot of people in oxygen-rich areas are taller people and sturdier. This is why even when athletes will do, they call it doping, where they'll go and they'll train in the mountains where the oxygen is light, and they train up there, and then they come down here where the oxygen is more rich, and they get like a boost. There's even some that they call it oxygen doping, where they'll take they'll get like a blood transfusion a little bit before, which is illegal. You're not supposed to do this, but you'll get a blood transfusion when you don't need one right before you go to compete, because the more blood you have, the more oxygen you have. So that this is something that we can demonstrate today, that more oxygen does things to the body. It makes the body run more efficiently. And if you're in a place where the Earth before used to look like how what's that one movie on Avatar, they call it Pangea or whatever. I can't remember what they call that world on Avatar, but you remember in Avatar how they had those big giant trees and everything was misty and it was all misted up and stuff like that. They literally showing it to y'all, Hebrews. They literally show it to y'all. Go back and watch Avatar again and look at how that world looked. And then read your Bible, and it said how a mist came up from the bottom and watered the trees. The rainforest, the Amazon rainforest, is a microcosm of what the entire earth used to be. What we're looking at now is a desolate husk of what the earth used to be, because y'all had to chop it down because these angels was out here acting foolish and humans was agreeing with them. So he had to lessen the thing down. Because can you imagine what they were? You read from the stories what they were doing. You can read the what they tell you was fiction. That if you read the book of Enoch, Yah said that their children will fight each other. Why is it in mythology that these so-called gods are always fighting each other? When you read the Mahabharata, the gods are always fighting each other. When you read in the different Incan religions and stuff, the deities are always fighting each other. But you want to say the book of Enoch ain't real. But they want to say the book of Enoch ain't real. But we see it all around in what they call the mythologies. We see it all the time. We just read it. The Mahabharata is literally about a giant war where they use nuclear bombs against each other. And in India, they can find places when they dig down where they find the sand turned into glass, like a giant heated explosion occurred. There's different old ruins where part of the ruins are charred. Just that one particular part is charred, like a directed energy weapon hit it. This stuff is out there. It exists. They just don't talk about it. They tell you all this other stuff. They'll show you Neil deGrasse Tyson tell you, oh, you're going to fall off the edge of the world. Nobody who believes in that says that, because that's not true, because you're going to hit that firmament. It's in the Bible. You can't change the word. Nothing. The firmament is what it is. He said waters above and waters below. Firmament. It is a construction term. It means to lay down flat, just like to beat something down. He don't mention making planets. We just injected that in there because of what we were taught. Just like we injected other people. When you used to read the Bible, who you saw when you read Moses, when you used to read the Bible? Who y'all used to see? Who you used to see? I know I used to see Charles Heston. I used to see Heston, man. I used to see Heston when I was reading the Bible before. I used to see what they told us, what they told us before. Them lies, the lies that they told us. You know what I mean? They gave us an image. Yeah, exactly. That's what I used to see too. That's what I used to see. The lie. We would see the lie because they had already seen what people, man. I'm starting to read. There's this book that I'm reading now, and it's hard for me to even get through it because it's so dense. It's called The Crowd, A Study of the Popular Mind by Gustav Le Bon. I recommend this book to Hebrews who want to understand how these folks be doing mind control on people because they study stuff like this. They study the psychology of these things. They know that if they could plant an idea with you, and if that idea is planted in you as a kid, that as a kid, you grow up watching Buck Rogers, you grow up watching Flash Gordon, you grow up watching Star Trek, you see all this stuff. You've created these emotional ties to this heliocentric model. It's hard to say it for what it really is because in your mind, you still want to get on a go into hyperspace and go explore planets. When y'all said I ain't even make none of that. He's up there. He's literally right above the firmament, right above the waters. Your savior is sitting there. When you go out into the night sky and look up, he's right there. He says the earth is his footstool. Why do you think that the sky is going to roll back like a scroll when he come back? How is he going to roll back a scroll like that when the universe with a universe that's expanding with 93 billion light years? Come on, man. It's time to come out of delusion. It's time for us to come out because we see this mess is coming to a head. We need to be out of every little bit of delusion. Like y'all said, come up out of her because these people is wicked, bro. They evil as all get out. They literally want to turn humans into quantifiable goods. You are nothing but just stock to them because see, they can't mate like us. They can't. They show it all through on and every time you see it on TV, they tell you the truth. How these creatures are always coming to take humans because they can't mate. See, Yah breathed one time into Adam. He breathed one time. We still living off that one breath. Those angels can't produce life, so they gotta steal the life that Yah put in us to further themselves because they are cut off from the light. They no longer have the glory cut. So they got to try to get us in to salvage what bit of the light that Yah gave us for life. This is what they doing. This is how they sustain themselves. Man, look. People going to think this is crazy. People going to be like, but this is the Yah literally said it. You wrestle not against the flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness. It's time for us to take the Bible and make it for real, 100%. Why do you think that they kept such meticulous records in the Bible? Why do you think there's so many begat this one, begat this one, begat this one? Because DNA mattered. DNA matters. You need to watch for those of you who single, watch the DNA of who you be with. Watch that. We need to be more meticulous with who we mate with and who we spared our DNA to. Come on, man. Come on, man. We got to be meticulous because these things want to steal that life again. Y'all breathed into us one time. He breathed into Adam and we still living today off that one breath. And they want to steal it from us. This is why he said the life is in the blood. Your blood is literally, you have your generations. You are literally your ancestors, man. Gates of Holder talked about that thing, man. Y'all have to check that video out. All the Hebrews is on the same thing. I'm like, y'all, this is you. I didn't even get on here for this, y'all. I'm telling you, this is why it's all like, I didn't get on here for this. I really didn't. I came on just to show that one dude talking about the 4th of July. I didn't get on here for this. I really didn't. But y'all is pulling me. You know what I'm saying? The Ruach is pulling me, so I'm just going to go with it. But I did not get on here for this. Like I did want to teach about the moon, but I wanted to get it and make it all, professional and put it all together and stuff. But I guess y'all's like, no, Negro, just get out there and just do it. Okay, Moses, just talk. I'll put the words in your mouth. Just talk. Because it's a subject that's hard to talk about, man. Because I was on the other side. I used to laugh and think, oh, that's crazy. That's goofy. That's how I came into this. It's so funny. I came into this before I even woke up as a Hebrew. I started to believe this because I was going to get on Netflix and laugh at what was they was talking about. And then I seen them talking about some stuff. They made some good points about how there's a from South Africa. They say, how come they don't let you fly? See, when in America, in around America, really, well, in the America controlled world now, if you fly to Africa, or rather from Africa, if you go from South Africa to Australia, they make you fly this way. If you can see my mouse, they make you fly up, and you got to go through, over India and all that, and you go that way. You can't just go the quicker way, which is right across through here. You see my mouse moving, that's the way that's the quickest way. They know this. Birds fly this way. It's like there's no improper way. Birds fly this way, but nobody flies that way. You can go on, and there's a websites. I went and looked at it myself. There's websites that will show you flight patterns of the different planes and whatnot out there, and they all skip. They always come up this way to go here. There's no one that goes straight here. You can't go from here to here straight shot. Why is that? Like Teo said. They want to they keep you from flying in certain areas. That's the reason why even on the planes they round out the windows on the plane. So when you get up there, perspective, if you have a concave shape of a window, when you look out that window, it's going to look like the edges are bent. So the horizon looks like it's like rounded out on the sides. All this is done on purpose. All done on purpose. I know it's hard to see my mouse. Yeah, it's. I know it's probably hard to see my mouse. Basically, from South Africa, there's always a connection. You have to go up, and you have to go through Europe, and then you come down to go to Australia. You can't just go from South Africa straight to Australia. They make you go up and through Europe and around India to get to Australia. You can't just go straight from South Africa to Australia. Why is that? That's one of the things I started to question. The other thing was, gravity. They were like, if gravity's supposed to hold down all the water. Gravity is holding down the water. That's why it's on the globe. We say the water is held down by gravity. Well, how come birds and planes can fly over it? If not water, again, the water in the oceans is heavy. That's a lot of water held down, and it's held to a ball. So this gravitational force is so strong to hold that water on a ball. But you can fly over it, you can jump, you can do all this stuff. So gravity just selectively picks who it wants to hold down hard. Okay. But when you naturally observe water comes to a level plane. This is why we use water on levelers. When you have a leveler, what do they have in there? Water. Because water always goes to a flat plane. It's even in your everyday tools. They got it right in front of your face. Like it's literally right in front of your face. How do things go up and come down? Because of density. You can do that even when you put like water and oil in a cup. The oil is less dense, so it's gonna sit. That oil and water ain't gonna mix. You can even have different liquids of different densities sitting on top of each other. You'll have like a whole list of all of them on there. And then you can take objects of different density and drop it in there, and they'll all drop according to the density of what they have. Exactly, Mr. Theological. Exactly, Mr. The Original. Exactly. It's just like that. Yeah, a little water with a bubble in the middle. That's it. Because water always goes flat. It's in it, everything that we look at. It's in our everyday thing. But they had to change this. Because, see, if they change this, then they can tell you that they're aliens that came from Gorlak 5 when they really just came from over around here. They really just came from this Terra Vista area, the outside area. They can tell you that, they can tell Admiral Byrd that, we're this, species that's been watching Earth and blah, blah, blah. We gave you, you guys are building this electrical bomb, not even knowing that, we the ones that gave you the ability to split the atom. We taught you all that. It's been done before. The Mahabharata literally talks about and describes radiation sickness and describes the shooting of nuclear bombs. It also describes smart missiles. It said Vishnu had missiles that would track his opponents wherever they went. Don't that sound like that stuff that Russia shooting? I'm just saying. We got to unlearn all this stuff, man, because they're getting ready to do the okie doke on these people in the world, and they're going to okie doke them into straight demonic nonsense. And really, the real thing that's going to be, and 100%, I fully believe, the mark of the beast is going to be something that changes you from being a human. Because what in the world can stop you from basically receiving the gift of Yahusha's death? He died for humans. He died for mankind. He's the second Adam. So if you are not a son or daughter of Adam, you can't perceive of him. You can't ask for forgiveness. This is why the angels can't be forgiven. He ain't died for them angels. He died for humans, for the sons of Adam. So the angels, they can't get forgiven. The demons, they can't get forgiven because they're not the sons of Adam. You know what I'm saying? So this mark is going to come. They're going to have it set. And they already have the stuff available. None of this is crazy. You can look up it's called CRISPR, CRISPR, and they use it for DNA editing. A dude in China already used it to make 2 little girls. They were twins, and they were born immune to HIV. They were born immune to HIV. You know, this is the one they just told everybody about in public. That's all. China's already been experimenting with super soldiers and all this kind of stuff. Like, man, look, man, these people don't want humans no more. To be human is gonna be taboo. To be human is gonna be a rebellion in and of itself. Just your existence as a human is gonna be rebellion against the system, and the people gonna be looking at you crazy. Why are you still holding us back? How are you crazy? How are you going to keep that right? Ew, you still have old DNA. Ew, you're not going to fix yourself. How could you not want to go? And we're evolving. How would you want to not just go and stay there? Like you can't even interface with the central hive. Like, what's wrong with you? Oh yeah. Oh, it do. Bro, man, look at here, man. That junk sounds so cool. I can't tell you how walking around with cybernetic arms and legs and being able to jump around and just jump up through. I watch there's another little anime I highly recommend for those who's interested in who want to get a good mental view of what this new world is going to look like. There's an anime called Ghost in the Shell. There's a movie, and then there's a TV show called Standalone Complex. The TV show gives you a more in-depth because they go into details and a lot of stuff. I highly recommend Standalone Complex. If you want to see a glimpse of how this world looks, they're literally cybernetic humans. The dude, there's one dude that works for them. I think his name was Togusa. They always laugh at him because he's literally the only normal human on the squad. The other ones, the Captain Major Kataragi, she changes bodies like it ain't nothing. Like it's like, okay, I got a new body. Yeah, I messed this body up. I got to get a new body. The other dude, same thing. There's another dude on the team. He's all super big, cybernetic up. They communicate with each other through mental comms. They can turn invisible, camouflage. They got AI assisted battle tanks that help them. Come on, man. Literally, you got people hacking other humans' brains. This is what a lot of the problem they solve what they call cybercrime, because you'll have a human hacking another human's brain and making them do stuff, and then the human can't even remember what they did. They just out here doing stuff because their brain got hacked. Yeah. Oh yeah. They know they all going along with it because all of them at the top levels have been bought out. That's really what these past wars have been about in Afghanistan and whatnot these past few years. If you look at here's a good thing. Look at the number of central banks before 9/11 and before the Afghan war and look at it now. I think there was like 12, 13 countries over there that didn't have it. Now there's only like 6. They went and spread that stuff out over there real quick, along with other things and other business that they had going on. Because I found out later on that it wasn't just oil that it was out after over there. Saddam was about to make a bank backed by gold. Then he got knocked out. We saw what happened to what's his name in dang it, what was it in Africa? Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi, same thing. He wanted to form a Bank of Africa backed by gold. Oh, now there's a coup. Oh, now they're sodomizing you and you're dead. Look at here, man. Look at here, man. These people is wicked and they evil, man. And not all, I ain't saying every little thing that happens is controlled, but everything at the top level people, from the ones in the shadows who are taking the orders from the demons, that's calling the shots. There's a shadow set of families, and there's a fit set of families that you see. See, there's a hand that you see, and then there's a hidden hand. That's the thing. The Rockefellers, the Onassis, the Waltz, and all the DuPonts, and all these different ones you see out here right now. They're just the ones you see that's their job is to be in Japan. It's a concept, man. I'm telling you, when you get into other nations' history and you get into other nations like literature and things that they used to do, people in America, this is why America is literally the most backwards country in the world. And I say that legit. We drive on the wrong side of the street. Everywhere else they drive on the other side of the street. Even the way English is taught, English goes in the wrong direction. Every other nation with the way they read goes the opposite direction. Everything in America is designed to turn your brain opposite. The opposite of everything that we was originally set in doing as an original species. I'm just talking about humankind, period. Humans, period. Because even in the older days, they wrote the same. They wrote in that particular way. The way the sentences and stuff were built up or were different. That's why it's kind of easy for me to understand the sentence structure for Hebrew, because I was learning Japanese, and it's the same way. It's backwards. Because Japanese at first was weird to me, because I'm like, man, they the way they do their subject verb agreement is different than America, because you'll say it's in America, you'll say hello. We have words like and as, and we have all these different conjugatives where back they'll just say like the subject, what they were doing, and then give you an adjective at the end. It's like, that's it. You just get the whole. It's crazy. It's when you start learning those other languages, man, you start understanding how backwards we really are. But in Japan, they have branch families. And they'll literally say that you'll have families that operate in the day and families that operate in the night. Meaning they're a family that they're the main ones that come up with all the business dealings. But the main family during the day is where all they know their job is literally to bring the eyes of the masses on them, so that those that are hidden, the hidden hand, can do their work unfettered. They can walk around and do what they got to do, and nobody will worry about them because they're too busy looking at the main branch family. Exactly. No, for real. Exactly. It's like watashi wa. You're just saying I, and then you'll say walk. Instead of saying I am walking, you'll just say I walk. That's how it would translate into English. It'll be like watashi wa walk. And then it goes like that. Whereas in English, we have all these other things that mix into it. And then you say fish, which is F-I-S-H. Then you have fish, which is P-I-S-H. All kinds of stupid word rules that don't exist nowhere else, because everything else is phonetic. English is just backward. We're a consonant. We are more consonant-based, where everybody else is more phonetic-based. It's so backwards. But when you start looking into all these other cultures and how they do things, this is how these people operate, man. These are the ones that we see. They're not the main ones. That's why when people say, oh, all white folks is Esau and all this, I'm like, no. You can't do that. You can't say that, because you have to understand genetics. You have to understand how this thing works. You can't say all of them is the serpent seed. That's not true. Not all of them are like that, because genetically, some of them have different upbringings and origins than the others. There's a whole lot of stuff that went on that even... Actually, it was something that Tail even talked about a little while ago, the orphan trains. That's something I've been looking into as well, the orphan trains. It's so funny that came up, that he brought that up, because I have been looking into that too, because I've been really investigating the origins of where weird white folks came from. That's where I've been trying to find out. I'm trying to, because that's the one thing that I never vibe with the camps, where they're like, oh, Esau, and they just blanketed everybody in one statement. And I'm like, that don't make sense. It didn't click with me. And reading Jasher and seeing the movement of people groups and stuff is really helping solidify that. But it's like there's a gap, man. In the 1800s, they did a lot of goofy stuff, man. Late 1800s, a lot of goofy stuff happened, man. And when you look up the orphan trains, man, look that junk up. Even what's his name? Jerry Seinfeld talks about his dad. His dad was an incubator baby. They had incubators back during these world fairs with babies in it. Like these are supposed to be new technology, but they got incubators with babies in it in these old 1800 world fairs. They had babies for sale. They literally had signs up saying, come get your baby. Why were people getting babies? Why were there so many kids? Look at those old pictures of kids in the factories. You don't see no adults. There are no adults. Where were the adults? Why were there so many kids? Why were all of those little things that you read about back in the Oliver Twist and was it Raggedy Ann and all those different things? They're about orphans. All this orphan talk and stuff, man. Why all that stuff? Like what? Why were they sending so many white children west and shipping them on trains and stuff? Then they make up these stories of, oh, these people were working and we just couldn't take care of our kids, so we just gave the kid away and so all of a sudden, just everybody in the world just couldn't take care of their kids and just gave their kids away and never thought to go get them or nothing when they got better. That's what happened. Just women was just, again, during the most conservative time in the world, one of the most conservative times in the world, where literally having a baby out of wedlock was a family shame. They would send you away to have that baby. But women was having babies out of wedlock so much so that they was filling up orphanages and shipping them over on trains, and they was holding them in incubators. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Like some of this stuff we got to look into. And I'm bringing up a lot of these different subjects to open your brain up. This ain't a thoughts brewing, but it's just going to end up turning into that. Like I said, I just really came on the show about the gentleman talking earlier about the dream he had about something bad happening during the week of the 4th. And this is where this stuff is, just coming up, because I have a strong feeling, as it was in the days of Noah, man. They doing all this alien talk. There's a lot of weird stuff showing up in the skies. Like China had all kinds of stuff going on. China had red skies. There was just 2 years ago, a river in Russia turned to blood. I think it was in 2018, 2019. A river in Russia turned to blood. The Euphrates is drying up. Come on, man. We all know Revelations, what happened when the Euphrates dry up. It's getting real. And these things is going to come back on the earth. These creatures want to come back. They want to come back into the light. They keep saying, oh, there's too many humans. There's too many humans. There's not too many humans. The earth was designed to sustain humans. They keep stifling technology that we'll do that makes things better because they don't want us to have better. They're just, again, terraforming the minds of the people, getting everything ready. They want to do whatever they finna do in CERN, because, again, CERN is starting up again in the 5th. After they just updated it, now it's starting up again, and everybody's having dreams about something weird happening. Again, I'm not saying something's going to happen. I'm not prophesying up here. I'm just saying there's a lot of coincidences, and we should be prayed up. And we should just be prepared. We should be prayed up anyway, because stuff is getting extra goofy out here, man. It's getting goofy. I'm telling you that I'm noticing weirdness in networks. I'm noticing very well-known websites having slowness issues. Like these websites, again, there's been a lot of weirdness. We've been having a lot of our clients having strange ISP drops just here and there. There's been a lot of that going on. Like, man, look, man, it's getting weird. And I wholly do not doubt that they're going to pull an Independence Day and try to come out after all this turmoil with World War III. It's going to be nothing but pure chaos. You're going to have bombs dropping all over the place. Everybody going to be just like, oh my God. And then out steps Gorlak. Oh, we created you. And now we're back. Oh, okay. Again, they've done this before. Look up Ea Enki and the Sumerians. They've done this before. This isn't nothing new. They've done this before. Ea Enki told the Sumerians that he was one of the good gods, that the other god didn't want you to have the wisdom. He shared wisdom, and then all of a sudden he got punished by the other gods by basically creating humans and giving them knowledge and wisdom. The other god was mad at that. Don't that sound familiar? Don't that sound familiar? Isn't that a twisted way of think about a twisted way that you would teach how y'all punish those angels for teaching improper ways? If you twist that around, come on, man. That's what they do. They twist stuff around. We got to be ready for this, man, because these people going to be coming with a crazy story. And y'all said the very elect, it would fool the very elect. They would fool the very elect, man. Yeah, you're right. There were two other, There was another one in Asia too. There's been a lot of places turning blood red. There's even in the I think in the mountains somewhere. I was talking about it with a brother online on Facebook. They had like blood in the snow. The snow was like looking bloody red. They're saying it's algae or whatever. But even in the snow, it looks like blood. Like it literally looks like somebody fought up there and there was just blood just sprinkled all over the snow. And they're like, oh, it's an algae, and they're studying it to figure it out. But this is weird thing that's going on. But no, I agree, Mama Red. It's what we need. We need only y'all can help us, bro. But I'm not worried. Again, I'm not. It's like it's crazy. It's so funny. I'm seeing all these people in those comments of that video talk about how they were worried, but I'm not, because all of this is just letting me know that y'all we're closer and closer. This 400 years is real, and we're closer and closer to that second Exodus, where y'all is going to show Himself mightily, and the true Hebrews is going to be acknowledged all over the world. And people going to have to recognize and say for what it is. There's a lot of folks that's going to be humbled in the coming months. I'm telling you straight up. There's a lot of folks like we've been, man, I don't know. Maybe that's why y'all been putting it on our hearts to talk to these people. I know it's been on my heart, man. I've been on Facebook, even though I ain't had time to make videos. I've been on Facebook making stuff, like posting stuff, like trying to get at people who I know in my circle. And I've been seeing other folks doing the same thing. We trying to get y'all been putting it on our hearts to get our folks, man. Because we see it coming. This junk, man. Shoot, I let my nieces and everybody know. Like, look, man, y'all need to cut. Y'all come through here. I've been telling them. I've been telling my peoples, like, yo, it's about to get real. It's about to get real, y'all. It's the real world is about to come. The lie of the world is about to get pulled off, but they're gonna try to pull it off with this alien nonsense and this UFO nonsense. But the first thing before they do that is they're gonna cause problems. Definitely. Like I said originally when we first was pulling this up, with the brother here. This is it's called The Angry Prepper, and he posted this a couple days ago, and he put it on there. You can go check him out and play the video. It got some profanity in it, so if you got sensible ears, and you might want to just let somebody else listen to it and tell you what he said. but yeah, man, it's getting real, y'all. It's getting real out here, and we're gonna have to wake up all the way. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep falling for the delusions of Babylon, man. We got to come out. Don't get caught up, and this ain't the time to get caught up in, oh, I need to go on vacation, and oh, I need to do all that. Like, this is a time for prayer, man. Like, even the Gentiles got enough sense to say they ain't finna be going nowhere this weekend. I know I'm not. I told my wife straight up too. Like, she wanted to go somewhere, and I feel bad. I really did. I really wanted to go, and I thought about it so many times. But seeing these videos and seeing this is letting me know, man, I need to just stay home with my go bag. I'm finna tighten up that go bag this weekend because, man, look here, bro. Ain't no telling, man. Ain't no telling, y'all, man. If you got a chance, go out, get some stuff. Like I said, I ain't saying nothing is for sure happening this coming week. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying a lot of folks is having dreams. This brother here had a dream about it. The brother from Japan, this is his channel is called No Christ. He has another channel called The Black Experience in Japan, and he had a dream about it. There's been a lot of folks dreaming, man. A lot of folks dreaming about some weird stuff, and it's all been centered around the 4th of July. So y'all be safe out there, man. Y'all definitely be safe. Y'all definitely watch yourself. I totally did not mean to be on this long. I told my wife I wasn't going to be on that long. I've been gone all day, having to work in Egypt, dealing with this, all the hard drives for some weird reason in our data center. Like, most of our hard drives started dying. I'm like, what? We got hard drives dying, even at client sites and stuff. That's honestly, that's kind of weird to me that they're all like multiple drives. Like, what kind of electromagnetic radiation they got going on right now is like making hard drives fail left and right. Like, no. I got quite a few drives just start failing. Like, literally, we just was looking at these drives like a while ago, and then all of a sudden, like 3 of them dead out of nowhere. It's weird. But yeah, man, about to get up out of here, y'all. For real. No, this okay, Sister Nitz. I didn't really have a lot of headway on this. I saw this video earlier, and I just jumped on because I wanted to show this, right now before, the weekend kicked in and everything got it going, because it concerned this coming 4th of July weekend. This gentleman here had a dream about some terribleness coming in on the 4th of July. For those who haven't watched it, I definitely recommend going back and checking it out, or going to his channel directly and watching the video and listening to what he's saying. And then it matches what another brother, he had this dream last month. Oh no, it was actually a couple months ago. It was in May. Yeah. May the 12th, and he had a dream about America going having like bombs in New York. That's what he saw. He saw like bombs and stuff in New York, and he saw fireworks in the sky. So we all know, fireworks is usually around the 4th of July. And then he's saying, having this dream now about the same thing, where he said he's been having a bad dream about 4th of July. And a lot of other preppers that he's been teamed up with are telling him the same thing. They've been having bad dreams about the 4th of July. So I praise y'all though. I'm hyped. Like, I really look forward to meeting y'all, man. I really, really do look forward to meeting fam, and I really look forward to us. I mean, we got to be in the mindset. See, we going back to our homeland to rebuild. It's something that I used to talk about a lot too with my boys over there at Salt of the Earth. With Elder Cleo, me and him talked about that a lot. About y'all giving us the cheat codes, meaning he's going to be bringing us those gifts and those skills. He's going to be amplifying that in us. We going back to that land to rebuild, man. We not going there to just sit there and be idle. We going to rebuild, and we going to do what we do best, a nation build. And we all got a part to play. Everybody got a different part. That's the beauty of Yah. He deals with nations. He don't just deal with us as like a person. He deals with us personally, but it's all for the nation. We got to start being nation-minded, like looking into how we're going to help build the nation. Start thinking about how you're going to use those skills. Because see, we not going back empty-handed, y'all. Y'all know that, right? You know, we all know scriptures. We all know we going back with something, and we all going to take that something, and we going to be the corporations of the next generation. We're going to be the actual multinational organizations headed by a board of Hebrews that deals in building up villages in Africa and bringing them into modernization and teaching them how to use the land properly and how to give them some modicum of modernness now, so they don't have to live hard no more. They can farm easier because they'll be using machines from Hebrew factories that are run by Hebrews with a board of directors that are all by Hebrews, with cities that was built up by Hebrews, from advances in technology that was thought up and given to us by Yah and brought out by Hebrews. Bro, come on, man. Look at here. This is what I've been looking at. This is why I get excited, because I'm looking towards past this nonsense where we can sit in our rightful places as the priests of this earth, and we can sit there and teach them the right way by following Yah and teaching folks the right way to do business. We're not going to do business the way the Americans do business. We're not going to do capitalism. Capitalism is taking advantage of somebody. We're going to have nations begging us to come and do business in their nation, because everywhere we're going to do business, blessings going to come. Because we're not going to strip the resources from Africa. We're going to empower the Africans themselves. Everybody going to be trying to come to Africa. Watch. They're going to need to call it a crap hole country and all that. They're going to be boarding. It's going to be the reverse. They're going to be on little dinghies trying to float over there to get to Africa. They're going to be fighting to get in over there. They're already fighting to get to Mexico. They're going to be fighting. We're going to have to be sending their tail back. Oh, nope, you chipped. You can't come in here. Nope, you chipped. Yeah, only humans. Only humans in Africa. Only humans. Nope. Nah, you got that mark. Nah, bro. We got to turn you around. Back to the kingdom. Only humans in Africa. Straight up. Straight up, man. It's only for humans. Humans that's following the Torah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't going to be with all that nonsense. But we going to build, man. We over there. It's a lot of us going over there. I agree, Lynn. I've been seeing it. I've been watching my man Wode Maya, man. For those who don't know about Wode Maya, man, let me bring up his channel, man, because Wode is if you want to get your mind opened up and you want to look at what you want to, so see, this is what we need to do. We need to be focused on being prepared for the stuff that's here, and we also need to be forward thinking. We got to think about the future, what's to come. If you want to get a good understanding of what's going on in Africa and what's going on down there, this young man right here, I believe he was totally chosen by Yah, because there's so many Hebrews coming over there that have seen this man. Like, bro, this dude right here, totally. It's so much stuff that's going on, and so many things that he be showing and showcasing, because he said that he had a dream that he wanted to show Africa through different eyes. He didn't want it the West, they always want to show the broke and the poor and all looking crazy. He wanted to show Africa for what it really is, and man, it is beautiful. I love watching this man's channel, and I love watching it because it inspires me, because I'm like, okay, I'm seeing deficiencies and I'm seeing areas that people are trying to do stuff in, and I'm like, when we get over there, when we come with those resources. I seen this one thing with this one sister. She was raising all the kids that are orphans and all this stuff like that, and she was struggling in this house. I'm like, nah, that should not be a thing. Get over there and we can hook this. Look, you don't got to worry about nothing. You just go out there and get them kids. We the Hebrews, we gonna make sure y'all fed. We gonna make sure y'all got everything y'all need. Y'all got the house, y'all got water, y'all got good stuff. Not no run of the mill. Y'all gonna be good. As long as you getting all them orphans, we got your back. Like, that's the kind of stuff we gonna be doing. This is what we gonna be doing. This is why we got to be aware of all this stuff, so we can go and teach our cousins over there and teach our fellow brothers how this mess that's going on, so they won't fall prey to it when they start trying to come over to them and try to seduce them with getting chipped up. We got to be the ones to know. So we got to come over there with the accurate everything, because it's going to look good. But I'm telling you, it's only because of the Yah and me that I'm not geeked and excited about half of this stuff. Some of this stuff is so sci-fi and cool and things that I used to want to think about doing and stuff. But I'm like, no, that's demonic. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to put a chip in my head. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to let you put, chip me like that and talk, let me modify my body to the point where I'm not human. No way. No way. No way. Oh, man. And you know what? Before I go, man, I guess I'll share this. Like, it was crazy. A couple days ago, man. It's even going along with what we talk. Man, this must be for y'all. Talking about that whole changing humans thing. I had a dream, and in this dream, I'm always fighting, and I'm always warring with something in my dream. So we was fighting. It was me and these people who I didn't know. It was like just a bunch of people, Gentiles, and mainly Gentiles, yeah. And we was running around from these folks. So they had got us cornered. So it was coming to a point where I'm like, oh man, dream's about to end. So I'm conscious of this in my dream. In my dreams, I'm like, I'm able to end the dream. If I'm in the dream and I'm like, okay, this is gonna get stupid, I'll just wake myself up out of the dream. So I was about to wake myself up out of the dream because I'm like, oh, this is crazy. It's probably gonna get put in the corner and something goofy is gonna happen. So when I tried to wake myself up out of the dream, it didn't work. I was pushed into a different scene, and in this other scene, I was in a room with all the people. And we were just sitting there, and we're all like, man, didn't we just get like blowed up, or what happened? And I'm like, why am I still in this dream? And in my head, I'm like, why am I still here? I thought I was trying to wake up, but I stopped trying to like pull myself out of the dream. And I'm like, because I wasn't, it's not a dream that I was controlling. So I'm like, let me just see how this ride is out. Let me ride this dream out a little bit. So while we're sitting in there and talking, all of a sudden out of my arm, this wave just starts coming out. It looks like, almost looked like bugs were flying out, but it was like a wave that came out from my arm, and all the other people around me started literally like short circuiting and falling down like robots. And then into the room walked like 4 or 5 folks or whatever. They like, it was a bunch of scientists, and they all walked in, and they're like, oh, you're the only one that, passed, and you're the only one that seemed to, survived. And they were all just like looking over me and telling me about all these features that I had. And I'm like looking, and I'm confused. And then I'm looking down, and I'm like, yo, so am I human? And they kind of looked like, no. So I'm like, dang, I'm not human. So then they're telling me, like, they're like giving me orders. They took me up to this little place, and they were like pointing out over the land, and it's like they wanted me to go do something. And I'm just listening to them, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go along with what they say, and I'm just gonna, I was like feeling real obedient to them. And then I woke up. And when I woke up, I'm like, wait a minute, why was I so obedient to these folks when they literally took me out? They killed me, took my body and repurposed it and turned me into this robotic thing that I looked like myself. I felt like myself, but I just knew that something was off, that I wasn't human. But at the same time, I wasn't angry at them, and I had wanted to help them. Come on, man. Like... Y'all, man, it's not, again, I wasn't even reading about that kind of stuff. I've honestly been reading about this whole history of eugenics and the crowds, a study of the mind. I've been getting into the psychology of how they've been trying to control people. I haven't really been in the whole thing talking about like robots and stuff. So this dream, and I knew it was a dream because it was very vivid, and I remember it even now. So it's like, this is the kind of stuff that they're going to have going on, man, where they're going to be taking people and changing them from being human into something else. This is going to be the wave of this new world order, man. And we got to be aware of this stuff, because they're going to come, and it's going to sound good. It's going to look good. It's going to be like, you're going to sound stupid. You're going to sound stupid, man. You're going to sound stupid to want to be human, because they're going to have it looking so good. They already talking with the metaverse and, oh, look at what you can do. And yeah, okay. Okay. But man, that's it, fam. That's all I wanted to share with y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all coming out to this impromptu video. Y'all be safe, man. If you got time, go get some stuff up for this weekend. Go, gather up anything that you can, what I'm saying? Just be safe, what I mean? Be safe than sorry. If nothing happens, then hey, what I'm saying? You got provisions and you good. What I mean? We just gonna go on and continue to watch Babylon fall in this way. And then if something do happen, man, y'all just be safe, man. Yeah, Messenger. Yeah, cyborgs, man. And that junk was real, man. This junk was real. There's so much stuff, man. There's a book out there, one that I needed been wanting to read. It talks about automatons, and they've had automations, or like basically cyborg robots, even back in like what they would call the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages, as they say. They even had automatons back then. Like it's so much stuff, man, that they've wiped from history. That was like, none of this stuff is new, man. None of this stuff is new. None of this stuff is new, y'all. But man, yeah, y'all be safe, man. And what I'm saying, it's not nothing to be worried about. It's just to be prayed up and be ready for it, because we know that this has to happen for our salvation. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna come up out of this land of captivity. That 400 years is real. I don't care what nobody say. If you still saying it's fake, then man, look at here. I don't know, bro. All I know is ain't no rapture finna happen. I know that. You know what I'm saying? If you see some underwear and shoes and some drawers laid out on the floor, that's because people done lost their mind and jumped out of their clothes and trying to hide under rocks. It ain't because of no rapture. I tell you that. All right, y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, family. I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all have a nice evening.